Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with Herbal Drug Technology, semester 6. The first unit is Herbs as Raw Materials. As we know, 80% of the world population depends upon herbal medicines for their daily use. Now, there are about 9,000 native plants which has been reported worldwide for their medicinal properties, and about 1,500 species of plants has been known for their aroma and flavors. It has been estimated that 80% of the world population still depends upon indigenous system of medicine for their treatments, which includes systems like Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, homeopathic, and other traditional system of medicines. Now, these systems, which includes Ayurveda, Siddha, homeopathic, they again rely on, most of them rely on medicinal plants or the herbs as their active ingredients. Now, it has been reported that China and India are the major herb producing countries, having 40% of the global biodiversity and availability of rare species. The Indian system of medicine uses around 1100 medicinal plants, and most of them are collected from the forest regularly, and over 60 species among them are particularly in demand. Now, what are herbs? Herbs, these are the plants which do not have any woody stem and they die off to the ground after flowering. These are the plants with leaves, seeds, or flowers used for flavoring food, medicines, and perfumes. As we know, in recent times also, most of the industry or the pharmaceutical industries they depend upon plants for their ingredients, for their medicinal ingredients. Now, what are herbal medicine? This is the system of medicine in which exclusively herbs and herbal preparations are used to maintain health and prevent or cure diseases, which includes any plant part. It can be leaves, it can be roots, it can be stem, it can be fruits, it can be flowers, leaves, bark, any plant extracts or any plant mixtures, preparations. Next is herbal medicinal products. These are the products or the medicinal products or the herbal products which are obtained from the plants or the herbs, and they act as active ingredients in the preparation of herbal formulations. They are mainly obtained from herbal substances or herbal preparations such as whole plant, part of plants, algae, fungi, lichens. These are the material, or the material is usually dried, but sometimes they are freshly used, and they are defined by specifying the species, full scientific name, and plant part used. I mean, when they are packed, the label should contain the species name, the species of the plant, in full scientific name, and the part which is being used. The herbal preparations such as powders, extracts, distillates, juices are the products obtained by processing herbal substances for the medicinal for the preparation of medicines. Next is herbal drug preparations. These preparations, these formulations, drug formulations, herbal drug formulations are prepared mainly from the herbal products which are obtained by different processes. Process like extraction with various solvents, extraction with supercritical fluids, purifications, concentrates, mixing, heating, and other processes. They are prepared from the herbal materials by different processes, where the extraction with the various solvents, and it includes the processing of herbal medicines with natural vehicles many a time by heating with alcohols and hydroalcohols, water, etc. Now, next is processing of herbal medicines, herbal materials. The first and important step in the preparation of or in the processing of herbal materials is the collection of drug. Collection of drug, in other term, we can say it is harvesting of the part of the plant, active medicinal part of the plant. It should be collected during appropriate season or time period to ensure the best possible quality of both source material and the finished products. It is reported that the quantitative concentration of biological active constituents varies with the stage of plant growth. The best time for the collection is processing of herbal materials. The herbal materials, once collected from the fields, has to be processed in many ways. First step includes the collection of crude drugs from the field. The collection of crude drugs from the field has to be collected with the help of specialized workers. They are trained workers, and the collection again depends upon various different aspects such as the seasonal time or the time period to ensure the best possible quality of both the crude drug as well as the finished formulations. It is reported that the concentration of biological active components varies with the stage of plant growth. That is one. It also varies with the season. It also varies with the time to be collected. The best time for collection is the quality peak season. It depends, it has to be collected when the concentration of active components are at the peak, and it should be determined according to the quality and the quantity of the biological active constants of the targeted medicinal plants. Lot of precautions has to be taken. It should not come, I mean the crude drug should not come into direct contact with the soil, and many times when underground parts such as roots or rhizomes they are collected at the soil adhering should be removed from the plant as soon as they are collected. Collected material should be placed in clean baskets and aerated containers with free from foreign matters including plant. The best time of collection is in the time when the concentration of active ingredient are maximum in the plants. For example, the alkaloid in the leaves of Hyoscyamus niger or belladonna is higher in the beginning of flowering stage, whereas it lowers when the flowers are fully bloom. There are various guidelines for harvesting, such as medicinal plants or the drugs should be harvested when they are at the best possible quality. I mean, when the concentration of active ingredients are at their maximum peak. Damaged plants or parts of plants need to be excluded. I mean, they are not collected. They are excluded out once after the harvesting. Medicinal plants or herbal drugs should be harvested under the best possible conditions, avoiding wet soil, rain, or high air humidity, etc. If the harvesting occurs in wet condition, adverse effects on the medicinal plants drug due to increased moisture level should be taken into consideration. Cutting devices or harvesters should be adjusted, such as the contamination from the soil particles is reduced to the minimum. The harvested medicinal plants or the drugs should not come into direct contact with the soil, so that the soil should not adhere with the medicinal plants or the collected crude drugs. It must be collected and transported in dry, clean conditions. During harvesting, care should be taken to ensure that no toxic weeds mix with the harvested medicinal plants or the crude drug. The containers during harvesting must be clean, free of contamination, free of previous harvested drugs, the harvesters. When the container are not in use, they must be kept in dry condition, free from pests and livestock and domestic animals. Care must be taken that they should be well cleaned, sun dried, so as there is no microbial contamination in these containers. Mechanical damage or compacting of the harvested medicinal plants would result in undesirable quality changes, must be avoided. Attention must be paid over in overfilling of these sacks and other collecting material. Freshly harvested medicinal plants or the herbal drugs must be delivered as quickly as possible to the processing units so that thermal degradation should be prevented. The harvested crop must be protected from pests, mice, rodents, livestock, and domestic animals. Any pest control measures taken should be documented. These collected drugs should be well packed. They should be labeled properly. On the label, all the information should be displayed. For example, the plant part, plant species, plant scientific name, part to be used, or part, I mean, packed, conditions under which it has been dried, and many more. So, this was about the harvesting.